These are 9 times Khamzat Chimaev went into complete beast mode.
I come here for everybody! Kill everybody!
Oh, nice double leg by Khamzat.
Man, Chimaev continues to suffocate. Too easy.
Unbelievable. Just unbelievable.
With 9 straight UFC wins capped off by his dominant middleweight title victory over Dricus Du Plessis at UFC 319, Khamzat Chimaev has shown everybody why he's the scariest fighter in the UFC, and right now, it doesn't look like anyone in the world can stop him. But Khamzat proved long before he became champion that he was going to be something the UFC had never seen before. Khamzat Chimaev burst onto the UFC scene in 2020, scoring back-to-back wins in just 10 days. He debuted against John Phillips and choked him out in the second round after mauling him in the first. He then set a UFC record for turnaround fights because just 10 days later, he mauled and TKO'd newcomer Rhys McKee in the first round. Dana White was over the moon for having bagged a prospect unlike any he had signed before.
I've been in this game my whole life. I've never seen anything like him. He's special, he's different.
A couple of months later, Chimaev took things to a whole new level when he faced his first real challenge in Gerald Meerschaert, who was super cocky and confident that he'd shut down the hype train.
You said there was a bit of a run-in with Khamzat at the host hotel earlier this week. Can you just explain what happened?
Apparently one of my buddies heard him say something about he was going to smash my face, but again, trying to talk trash to somebody while you're wearing a mask and walking in a different direction.
Because I say that, I'm gonna smash your face. How are you gonna stop that?
I'm sure you think...
How are you gonna stop that, yo?
I'm probably gonna beat you up, is what's gonna happen.
You a black belt?
Yeah.
Who give you
You'll
this
find
black
out
belt? I have blue belt, I'm gonna choke you out.
You can go ahead and try there, buddy.
You have to give me your black belt to me.
Come fight night, Chimaev made it look easy, knocking Meerschaert out with his very first punch only 17 seconds into the fight.
He kept telling me leading up to this fight, you think I'm a wrestler. You think I'm a wrestler. Wait till you see my hands. Holy shit. He wasn't lying.
With 3 UFC wins in just 66 days, Chimaev quickly became a star, and the UFC soon set him up against top 5 welterweight Leon Edwards in a title eliminator. But between health issues, Chimaev failed to show up twice in 3 cancellations from late 2020 to early 2021. Chimaev's illness got so serious that he had to undergo surgery.
I did house surgery, I did operation here. So they took out some stuff, like, I don't know how to explain in English.
And at one point, he even announced his retirement, but later reversed that decision once he started feeling better. With all the health struggles, many thought Chimaev's career was finished, but little did anyone know that he was going to come back stronger than ever. Khamzat eventually made a full recovery by the third quarter of 2021 and was set to return a year later at UFC 267 against Li Jingliang. Going into the matchup, there were plenty of doubts about whether Chimaev would look the same after such a tough illness and long layoff, but Khamzat wasn't too worried.
Do you think this is the biggest challenge yet in the UFC?
I don't think so, bro. Before I fight, last time I fight Gerald Meerschaert, they say people like, he almost submissions in the game, bro, and always people gonna tell somebody is better than me. I know why I'm gonna go take his head.
Despite the long layoff, Chimaev was confident he could pick up right where he left off.
How does your fight end on Saturday?
And I eat him up like I do always. 9 fights, 9 finishes.
Chimaev didn't take long to prove his words right, as just seconds into the fight he shot for a takedown, lifted Jingliang into the air while talking to Dana White sitting cage side, and then slammed him down. A couple of minutes later, Chimaev choked him out to pull off a perfect comeback and earn high praise from his opponent.
I acknowledge he is a very, very high level fighter, but if you want to see if he is he's good as a champion, I think he still needs maybe 1 or 2 more fights to prove he's the championship level. He's a very smarter fighter actually, and he has very good game plan. So that is what we need to learn from him.
And Jingliang wasn't the only one giving Chimaev credit after the beatdown. The entire MMA world was blown away by his comeback because it was a clear warning to everyone in both the welterweight and middleweight divisions. But as dominant as that win was, things were about to get even crazier. After Khamzat ran through Jing Liang with ease, the UFC wasted no time in giving him a real test in top 5 contender Gilbert Burns, whose elite Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu was seen as a serious threat to Chimaev's rise.
Gilbert is a world champion in Jiu-Jitsu. He's a very, very, very good grappler. So there's a difference there. When you get Gilbert to the ground, it's not that simple. Like you're fighting off arm bars and triangles and guillotines.
I can promise you this: Gilbert Burns does not give one shit about Chimaev's grappling, because he's gonna be right there with him the entire time. So
even Khamzat knew deep down that Gilbert was a tough challenge, so he tried to gain the upper hand before the fight by getting into his head with wild trash talk.
You're too little, but you have to go to other divisions. Maybe like, I don't know.
What? Can't understand. Where's the translator?
What's your comment on being the underdog?
It don't matter, you know. Matters what.
Of course, he's underdog. King is here.
Yeah. Woo! What he said? Oh, he's mad. Oh,
Yes.
he hit the table. See you Saturday, buddy.
I can see you every minute. Come on backstage, smash your face.
None of Chimaev's mind games made a difference once the cage door closed at UFC 273. The fight turned into an all-out war, with both Burns and Chimaev bruising, battering, and even dropping each other over 3 brutal rounds. Yet Chimaev walked away with a unanimous decision victory, showing his gritty side that was hidden before. This was the first time in his career that Chimaev had gone to the judges, and he couldn't have been happier about it.
The guy was tough. I didn't accept that, like it would be like that. But from first second to last second, I had to try to finish him. Next time I'm gonna work a little bit smarter and gonna smash somebody.
The Burns fight raised a lot of questions about Chimaev's supposed dominance, with many wondering if he was really the unstoppable force everyone thought he was. But Khamzat was about to silence those doubts in a big way. At UFC 279, Khamzat was set to headline against Nate Diaz in what was supposed to be a massive spectacle. But the fight took a shocking turn when Chimaev missed weight by 7 pounds, well over the 171-pound welterweight limit for a non-title bout.
178.5, the official weight for Khamzat Chimaev.
While Chimaev managed to stay on the card, he lost his headliner status and was shifted to the co-main event against Kevin Holland. The matchup felt almost destined, especially since the two had nearly come to fight backstage earlier that week, and their clash forced the UFC to cancel its press conference.
We had a big shit show. Trust me when I tell you this is the right decision not to do this press conference right now, and I hear you.
According to Holland, the backstage brawl was Chimaev's doing.
What happened there between you two?
I pushed Chimaev. Chimaev threw a push kick. It hit me, and I got mad because he almost fucked up the Burberry. You can't mess with a man's Burberry. So
why'd you
push him? I got a little pissed off.
With the bad weight miss and the chaos of the backstage brawl, Chimaev hadn't exactly done himself any favors, and he knew he needed a statement performance at UFC 279 to undo the damage. That's exactly what happened. The fight barely lasted over 2 minutes, and Chimaev wasted no time shooting in for a takedown, ragdolling Holland like he was nothing, before locking in a slick dash choke to end the night early. Holland had no chance to get going, and he was thoroughly humbled.
Did you start things or did you finish things with Khamzat Chimaev backstage?
No, it seems like he always finishes things. He starts them, finishes them. He's just fucking me up, I'm staying away from that guy.
After destroying another big name yet struggling to make welterweight, Chimaev moved up to middleweight and began his new mission of hunting legends, starting with one of the greatest fighters of all time. Chimaev was originally booked against Paulo Costa in his return to middleweight at UFC 294, but Costa was forced out with a nasty staph infection. That's when the UFC pulled a shocking move by bringing in former welterweight king Kamaru Usman, one of the greatest champions in the sport's history, to step in on 10 days notice. With Usman, Chimaev was staring down a goat, yet it was Usman who considered Khamzat a challenge.
I think he's a great opponent. He's as advertised. I think he's tough. He's big. He's strong. He can grapple, he can wrestle, he can strike. And at this point, this season in my life, it's just a matter of taking on the biggest, baddest challenges. And so when I walk away from the sport, I know that I took down who's who of the sport.
Chimaev, unlike Usman, showed no concern about the challenge ahead.
His old version, I'm new, it's like different. Like iPhones come out, his iPhone's 5, I'm like pro,
By that point, Chimaev had shown his dominance so many times that few in the MMA world dared to bet against him.
Usman's got balls, but I think Khamzat's gonna run over him. I do.
I think you put Kamaru Usman to sleep, honestly. I think if he just touches his chin, it's a big chance that Kamaru Usman goes to sleep.
The pressure that Chimaev's going to do, I think it's going to be a hard night for Usman.
Heading into the fight, Usman had only ever been taken down once in his career, but Chimaev changed that stat fast. Right from the start, he shot in and put Usman on the mat with ease, controlling most of round 1. Usman came alive in the second with some clean strikes, but Chimaev's wrestling shut him down again. Round 3 was Usman's best, yet Chimaev still scored another big takedown. The judges ultimately gave Chimaev a majority decision win.
I didn't have adequate time to prepare, but it's no excuse. He's as advertised. He's big, he's strong. That kid's as advertised. He's tough, and I give him all the props.
With one legend in the rearview mirror, Khamzat marched on against another former champion, and this time around, it would be one of the nastiest beatdowns in UFC history. Going into his middleweight title eliminator with Robert Whittaker at UFC 308, Chimaev had a cloud hanging over him, with health issues having already scrapped their fight months earlier. More so, this fight was a task that many thought would expose him.
I think that's a very tough fight for Khamzat. I mean, Robert Whittaker's got some of the best takedown defense in the 185 division. I mean, when you go 10 rounds with Yoel Romero and keep the fight standing, oh my gosh. I mean, that's a feat on its own.
If there is a guy that can stop Chimaev, is Robert Whittaker.
That's a real fight for Khamzat because Whittaker's a big dude. He's a big, solid, beefy 185, former champion.
Even Whittaker believed that he had the tools to be the first man to hand Chimaev a loss.
I look to go into this fight hunting him, much like I planned to last fight. I look to do again this fight. I'm the hunter in this fight. I'm the predator, and I'm going to be looking for him.
Do you think it'll even reach that far? Do you think you have the ability to put him out before it does reach the judges' scorecards?
Man, I'm going to try. I'm going to try. I have 25 minutes with him. He has 25 minutes with me. And, I'm going to leave it all there.
I don't think so. We'll need 25.
Chimaev stayed mostly silent, ignoring all the talk around the fight. His only promise was that he'd deliver when it mattered most.
I'm not that Khamzat I was before. He's not that Rob he was before. So the only answer is just a gauge.
The moment the bell rang, Chimaev turned his calm into chaos, charging forward and slamming Whittaker to the mat within seconds. From there, Chimaev smothered him, took his back, and rained down strikes before sinking in a crushing choke across the jaw. Whittaker's jaw gave way in a blink, with 3 of his teeth driven back into his mouth. The former champ had no choice but to tap in agony.
Yeah, he popped his jaw, and so it was, when you do that, it splits and the teeth get all messed up. Rob has that right now.
Khamzat's brutal demolition of Whittaker showed the world just how dangerous he really was. The performance was so wild that people even started saying that he might be crazier than Khabib.
So Khamzat just shot in on him and just started beating the fuck out of him. It was so relentless and overwhelming. And when Robert got up once, Khamzat dove on him again and had him down again in a second. So it's demoralizing.
Yeah. Reminded me of Khabib as well, where you get up, you get straight back down, and then you just run out of energy, right?
Maybe even more intense, because maybe even more dominant.
Even after smashing Whittaker, some people still doubted Khamzat, but he was about to put on the most dominant performance of his career when he'd face a champion that no one was able to crack and make him look like a complete amateur. At 14-0 and with back-to-back wins over Usman and Whittaker, Khamzat had become the undeniable #1 contender, so the UFC wasted no time in booking him against champion Dricus Du Plessis at UFC 319. With a perfect 8-0 run in the UFC and with scalps like Whittaker, Adesanya and Strickland, DDP had the MMA world believing he'd pull off the impossible yet again.
Dricus is going to try and find him. Can Chimaev stop that from happening? Maybe. Let's see. And the main event here of Dricus Du Plessis, I'm going with the underdog.
I think this fight can be really, really fast, but I can see this fight going to the second, the third round, and then I see some advantage for Dricus.
Du Plessis himself was confident as ever, as he promised it was do or die.
You have said you're prepared to kill your opponent in there. Do you think Khamzat Chimaev is prepared to do the same?
To kill me? I certainly hope so, because if he's not, he's in for the worst night of his life.
As for Khamzat, he just knew that it was his time.
Is his wrestling as good as yours?
You know already, guys, who is the best, guys. It's my time. I take over as UFC, man.
Once the cage door shut, Khamzat completely mauled Du Plessis for 5 relentless rounds, taking him down within seconds of every round and completely smothering him from then on, cruising to a ridiculous 50-44 unanimous decision victory with over 21 minutes control time of the complete 25. Chimaev's level of control was so beastly that it even took Dana White, his biggest admirer, by surprise.
The lead up to this fight, I said, I bet the main event is the fight of the night. Didn't see that coming, but not shocked either. I mean, you go in and dominate the way that he dominated. If you can do it the first round, more than likely you can do it the second and throughout the rest of the fight.
With Khamzat becoming the champ now, he's the man everyone would be looking to fight.
Du Plessis, he's young enough to make a comeback and you learn and you get better. But I'm telling you, right now we are living in the era of Khamzat Chimaev.
How long do you think Khamzat's champion era will last? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel and check out times where cocky UFC fighters got completely humbled for being disrespectful.